Hello, this is JilliBling. I have another project using beautiful butterfly bundle. So here it is, and there's this part, and this part. And this is the third project I made using this bundle. The last one, this was the first one. Has Wink Stella on the butterflies and the floral background. And there's a video for this one and this one. Then there was this one. So when it's laid out, see how this goes at an angle? The base of the card. And another one. They all have different feel to them, but they're all very pretty. So there's a video for that one too. So let's work on this project today. Blue butterfly with a little bit of floral in the background, kind of fun coloring it. Watercolor pencils. Okay. So we'll use beautiful butterfly bundle, wonderful thoughts for the word hello, memorable blooms for the floral, the dies beautiful butterfly, wonderful thoughts. And did you know that wonderful thoughts bundle, well now it's more of a stamp set and dies to match, that all of these greetings are cut out using all of these. So I'm looking at this one where it's straight along the bottom and kind of crazy at the top. I bet you that's this one right here. And this one, thinking of you. I probably should have had this figured out. It's on here somewhere, because I know I have all of them. But it's just nice that they cut it out perfectly. So let's get started. So we'll be using watercolor pencils, and I have two sets in this case. Embossing buddy, because I'll do a little bit of embossing. Here are the papers. Here's the embossing folder. This is a hybrid embossing folder, which means I could put the die in here, and it will cut out and texture all at one time. And we'll do that when we do the silver foil paper. That's using the folder. Texturing and die cutting. That's fun. So, Beautiful Butterflies is on page 38 and 39 in the mini catalog. Beautiful samples. And then there, you could get the product suite and get everything on this page, or you could get them as a bundle, the mix, the paper, embossing folder, stamps, however you like. Any combination you like. Oops. And then the watercolor pencils are on page 118, 119. And it's right here, pencil, watercolor pencil assortment 1, assortment 2. And then it just shows samples of watercoloring with watercolor pencils. When you use watercolor pencils, you can use a blender pen or an aqua painter. Today we'll use an aqua painter to kind of activate the color. The designer paper for the background here, this blue designer paper, is called Mixed Media Florals, item number 164638. Okay, so see what's over here. We'll use this in just a minute. So we could start with the blueberry bushel folded in half. And this paper is going to become this little top flap. And the die it's a lot of fun. Let me show you just a few tips on that. It's not hard at all. So that die, it's right here. I'm going to put it on here. And yes, the tips of the wings are flat, but that's just so it will open up. And see how it's connected? And to help you do that, I'll put this in place and then I'll hold it up close to the camera. So I don't know if you could see that little, yeah, you could see that little line right on there. That's where the top of the paper, the crease, the fold of the paper goes right there. And then just run it through your machine like that. This is what you get. So it's still connected. Very clever, very fun. And sometimes if you don't line it up perfectly, you might have to just trim. Like right here, there's a little bit of a point, but that's easy enough to trim. There's other parts on this blue butterfly that I'm going to trim, but I'll wait till it's time to start assembling it. Okay, that looks good. Okay, what else? This is for the butterfly tummy, just like that. So I'll cut that out. That's right here. So these are the completed pieces. And this is for the word hello. So I'm going to stamp that. These are the 3 ink pads for this project. Versamark, Smoky Slate, and Blueberry Bushel. So I'll stamp the hello and Blueberry Bushel. And I'm leaving a little room around it so that the die, I just don't want to have a flat spot after I cut it. So I'm going to find the die for that. Look how perfectly this fits. Hello. Okay, so I'm going to run that through and cut that. That's right there. The silver, okay, here we go. So there we're going to use the hybrid embossing folder. First time I did this, it kind of made me cringe. Just because I thought, what if I ruin my folder? I just bought that. What's convenient is the paper needed for this die is 3x4. So if you have 12x12 paper, that's wonderful. It's a tight fit, but it's okay. So when I flip it over, you can see placement right there. And you know what? I'm going to stick this down. Just because I don't want it to shift and have a flat spot. So flip it over. I'm just making sure. And I could make the paper bigger, but I could get a lot of pieces out of one sheet of silver foil paper if I do it like this. And it does fit, so it's possible. Just have to take a little extra precaution. So what I'm looking at is that's going to cut fine. The top is going to cut fine. I might drop it down just a little bit lower. There, that looks better. Okay, so now that I have these attached, open it up, and on the side that has the logo, that's the side that the die fits in. It just fits in here, and all of a sudden you'll feel it kind of nest into place. See how that's not moving? Close the door. That looks good. And now I'm going to run it through using my gray plate. Here it is. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we have that piece. Okay, what else? This paper is for the white inside of here. So that's going to use that same die that we just put into the embossing folder. Is that for the inside? Yeah, that's for the inside piece. So I'll cut that out. That's right here. And of course we have to decorate all these pieces, which is kind of the fun of this project. Okay, and the blue is for the detail die. Oh, we're out of dies. So I'll cut that out. I think, or did I forget to do that? Okay, hold on, I'll do it. Usually like to have everything all ready. Forgot about that one. Get all those little pieces out. That's what makes it so pretty, is all those little pieces though. Oh, stop. No. Go 9-9. I just took him out. Okay. So, there's the navy blue piece. This is kind of a mix in lots of colors. I was trying for Misty Moonlight and Boho Blue, but these pieces together are really pretty. Okay, so that goes right on here. This is just a layer. Let's start with that. So here's the card base, and it's cut to be 5.5 by 3.5. And at first when I had it as a full-size card, it just looked funny with that bit of white. Here, I could show you. Do I have a white card? We can improvise. So this is the full size. Pretend like this is white. And this has to be at the top. So there was just all this white space below. And I thought, well, I don't like that. So I just made it a shorter, kind of a narrow card. I don't think it's a slimline card. Just a little bit narrow. Okay, and then we could stick this designer paper. Isn't that pretty? We could stick this designer paper onto the front of the card. Look at, there's a little ladybug. I love this paper. And all of the products used are in the video description for all 3 of the projects. Okay, so that goes on there. These are inside pieces. I'll just set those inside for right now. Okay, let's build the butterfly. First, to start out, did you notice that there's floral on the blueberry card, this part right here? And I had a lot of fun with that. So let's do that now. I'm going to use clear Versamark, and then clear powder, and then use the watercolor pencils to color it in. So embossing buddy first. Oh, and just as a FYI, I'm going to chop off this part here and that part there and rely on the silver antlers and little tail. Just because they're a little bit more delicate than this. So I might as well do that now. And you don't have to be all that precise about it. Yes, butterfly chopping is required. But we're going to use other pretty heads and tails. And you can tell that it's not all that precise in doing the cutting. Okay, so we have embossing buddy on there. So now Versamark ink, and I'll use this stamp from Memorable Blooms. That means I'm going to use it in March. And we'll use this on the inside. So I'm going around the edges, the corners. And when I colored in the sample card, I colored all of the flowers, and I didn't need to do that, just the very edges. So this time I'm going to be a little bit more selective in coloring. Because I had fun coloring. It took a while though. Like even this here, you won't see very much of it. I'll stamp it just in case. Okay. Now into clear powder. And see what Versamark does? It just makes whatever color you have just a hint darker. But Versamark is also sticky, so it'll hold the clear powder. It's real convenient if you want to do a background and have it real subtle. Okay, so now I'm going to use my heat tool to set that. That's all we need the clear powder for. Okay, that's it. So to do the coloring, I'm going to take my watercolor pencils, mostly on this outside, the white. And looking at this, you can see I really don't need to color in that much. So the white pencil, and usually with pencils, if there's a sharp tip on it, oh, that's a good one. But this time, we want it to be a little bit flat, just so we could get good coverage. If it was real pointy, you would see the streaks of the pencil in here. And when I hold this up, you're going to say, well, you're leaving streaks. But I'll go back and I'll color it off to this direction too. And after I take the aqua painter to it, it's going to kind of melt this watercolor pencil. And so it will just become one solid color. And I'm not pushing super hard, just a little bit of pressure. And see, I'm not getting white pencil way up here into the flower centers. That's okay, because with the aqua painter, I'll be able to pull the pigment from the pencils right there to the center. So I'm just trying to apply pencil to the area, and I'll be able to move it around here in a minute. Some of these, because they're cut off, it's like, I don't know what all that is over there. I don't know if that's leaf or if it's nothing. But you can see I'm not being really careful about coloring. I'm going to go back and do a little bit this direction, just trying to apply more pencil. So on the inside of the card and on the inside of the flap of this blue butterfly on the white paper, we'll be doing the same method, but with smoky slate. Smoky slate is water soluble, so you don't want to keep coloring over and over and over it, because you will kind of dissolve the outline of the image. And because we'll be doing it on white paper, it shows up really well. Therefore, it won't be using the white pencil on the white paper, but just other colors, because they'll show up on white paper. For instance, if I wanted blue flowers and I colored the blue on here, it wouldn't show up that well, but it will on the white. It's like, what is that over there? I think it's a petal. There, I could go a little faster. And some of these stamps, they're overlapping, because when you're stamping with clear Versamark, you don't know what's what. I've been wanting to use watercolor pencils for a while. We used to, back in the day before the blends came out, all the time. Or an aqua painter into ink pad. But I haven't got back to these. It's nice to get back and try them today. But not precise at all. Actually, my arm's getting a little sore from putting pressure on it. Not sore, tired. And then the leaves I'm going to do in the sample, I did them in Granny Apple. I might try a different color just to see how it would turn out. I think there's garden green in there. But see, I don't know if they would show up on the blueberry bushel paper. Okay, one more. And after you put the aqua painter on it, if you find it's not enough white or bright enough, you could always do another layer of white pencil. Okay, let's do a little bit of the green. So I did Granny Apple green on here, and you can see it. You can definitely see it inside. So let's try, I want a color that's a bit bright. I'll try garden green. Garden green. Okay. Oh, I think that's going to show up nice. Soon I'm just trying to apply pencil to it. Well, that won't be seen because that's way in the middle. Good. What's all this? I think that's more flour. So garden. Okay. And even if you color over the clear embossing powder, once you get the aqua painter, it will dissolve the pigment and it will let the line art show a little bit again. Don't need to go into there. Maybe this one. So not that much green. It's more just of a scribble of color. Okay, so you ready to see the aqua painter? And if you don't see it that well on this, when we do the inside, you'll really see it. First of all, I'm going to make sure that there's no color in there. And let's start with the white. This one here, because you could really see the pencil lines, you'll be able to see it dissolve. And at first it looks dark, and then when it dries, it's a bit lighter. But it just makes it a bit smoother than when it was applied with a pencil. Like these, I think I'm going to have to go back over them again. Isn't that cool? And this is just a background effect. It's not to be precise at all. On the inside, it'll be a little bit more precise. Okay, almost done with the white. That, yeah, I need to get those streaks out of there. Okay, so now on to, see, that one turns out good. That's the garden green. And on the pictures, I'll put pictures on my blog, which is JilliBling.com. I'll make sure to take pictures so you could see it really clearly, how pretty it is as a background. Ooh, those show up really nice. It's interesting how the green shows up on top of a darker color. I think that's it. Okay, so that's done. Isn't that pretty? It's very subtle. I think this one turned out better than that. Now there was one that you could, oh, right here, you could really see the streaks. So I'm just going to do another layer of color. And if you want it really dark, do a few layers of color. I'm not going to do all of them. That's better. And you know what? It's probably not even going to be seen right there. Okay, so next for the butterfly is the silver. And I'll put this on with glue in the middle and dimensionals on the outside edges. Then a little bit of glue right here, but not on the antlers, because the antlers are kind of free from the blueberry bushel fancy opening card base. Okay, so go right there. I want to make sure that these on here. Okay, just like that. So this is just kind of skimming where you can see just a little bit of the blue. Okay, next is Night of Navy butterfly. And then I'm going to put glue just in the center, and that's it. And these other pieces will just naturally, because there's glue in the center, they'll just naturally curl up a little bit. Not annoying bit, just a little bit. And then this fits, think about these little armpits, they get lined up. And if you're like, that's really way down there, once you put the butterfly tummy on, this right here, it all seems to work. Never fail. I get glue everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to line up the antlers because these perfectly fit on there. Too much glue. If you have too much glue, your silver paper loses its shine. Okay, that looks good. Okay, isn't that nice as a background? And then the little hello gets dimensionals. And you know, I was thinking, we went out family dinner today, and I was thinking, what about a big bow? But looking at it, it's kind of nice, simple. see how these would look. That's really sheer. That just might work. That's super sheer too. The silver might conflict though. Let me try this one. Maybe I'll do one with and one without. Unless it just looks marvelous. And see this iridescent striped trim ribbon? It goes good with the embellishments. Okay, let's see how this looks. Oh, I kind of like that, and this could be hanging out. Okay. Ribbon it is. It was missing something. Okay, so glue dot right in the middle. Oh, that's like a bow tie on that butterfly. Oh, I like it. And then the hello can be like it's hanging from right down in here. So glue dot. I kind of like that. And then I always follow my glue dots up with a ribbon. Try not to get it on the letters because they might smear. Okay. So let me know in the comments after this is all put together, do you like the bow on there or not? I think I do. Okay. So that's gonna go right on here with just plain old glue or a tape runner. And don't put glue on the antlers. Well, maybe you can on this part. Okay, there's that. Oh, I like that. Okay, and now we could work on, see, I know you don't want glue on here because then when you went to pick it up, it wouldn't pick up. Okay, so let's work on Stampin' in Smoky Slate and a little bit of watercolor pencils. And because it's just a corner of that white stamped on there, stamped on the white paper, it won't take too long. So Smoky Slate, I could have done it in Memento or probably Stays On. Stays On is better for water soluble coloring, but I want it to be real soft. Okay, and while I have this rolling, I'm going to do the inside too, which is right here. Okay, and a little butterfly. And before I get to coloring it, I'm going to stamp the words at the bottom. You're wonderful, you're loved, you matter. Because if I do a whoops, I could flip it upside down. Blueberry bushel. Nice. I think my stamp is curving a little bit, but it's okay. Okay, so now just a little bit more watercoloring. So this time I'm going to do garden green and put it on there lightly, but just in the center of the leaves, not the whole leaf. This I'm trying to keep it kind of casual and not coloring right inside the line. That's a flower. And sometimes when you're doing watercolor pencils, when you apply the water, I think that might be a bud, but that's okay. It becomes a bit brighter. Coloring and coloring. And I'm taking advantage of the flat part of the pencil tip. Putting a little pressure on there. So when I hold this up here in just a minute, you'll say, yeah, you weren't trying too hard with that coloring, but it's part of the plan. So see how I got the color, the green, just in the center of the leaves? When I applied the aqua painter, the water will help spread it. Tony's still in his walker. I hear him rolling in the other room. Tomorrow it's going to be 2 weeks, and he gets to take his bandage off. Oh, and Jude sent him the cutest little card. Is a get well card. Here, I'll show you. I have it sitting right here. Hope you're feeling better. Isn't that pretty? Then a nice greeting to him. Because you know how he's always out in the yard? She made this perfect for him. Thank you, Jude. He loves that. Okay, so for the blues, I'm going to use Night of Navy and Balmy Blue. I have this other brighter blue, which I'll use on the butterfly. But all these blues are very similar. So just a little bit of both colors on there. And again, not being precise about coloring at all. Just trying to get that pigment from the pencil onto the paper. I'm going to do a little bit more, stretching it out. I think the Balmy Blue is a little bit brighter. And it's funny how this all goes together, even though on the front of the card, the flowers are white. Oh, let's start with this one. Then, Balmy Blue. Okay, are you ready for a little magic? how this works. Make sure there's no color in here. And then I'm going to take the color, start from where I started with the color at the leaf closest to the stem, and then just pull the color out. Make sure there's some water coming out. Oh, there we go. Is it too much now? Oh, that's quite a bit. See how that makes it a little bit brighter? I'll hold it up close to the camera just a minute. Let me get rolling on these. And because the smoky slate ink is not watercolor safe, if I keep hitting it, it's going to start smearing. I'm just trying to hit it one time and then move on. Oh, you could see it good on the big leaves. Oh, I didn't do the little butterfly. I'll get that. Isn't that fun? It's really pretty. It's very soft. But see the lines from the pencil? It all goes away. And once you put water to it and it dries or starts to dry, the color is pretty much set. You can't move the color around anymore. Okay, let's do the blue flowers. Oh, that turned out pretty. So see the difference from the ones with water on it to without water on it? Well, you can see that one good. Okay, that's it. I would do the butterfly in like a yellow or orange. Maybe I'll try that on this one. And if the flowers aren't what you want them to be, you could always make them just a little bit darker. You can't make them lighter. But after the water from the aqua painter dries, you could go back and make them darker if you want. Okay, so let's make this butterfly. How about raspberry and, oh, that real red looks good. I could get a yellow in there. How about daffodil, pumpkin, and red? That's cherry. What does cherry look like? Ooh, that's a deep red. This should be pumpkin. Pumpkin. What was the other one? Daffodil and a real red. One butterfly, 3 colors. And you know that these are all going to get blended. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up so you can see all the colors. Do you see 3 colors in there? Okay, here we go. Make sure there's no blue in there. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, I'll hold it up close. So the top has the water on it, the bottom doesn't. Well, that was kind of fun. Certainly stands out. Okay, so now I'm going to take the basic gray and I'm just going to color this in a little bit, not to do watercoloring on it, but just to make it stand out a little bit stronger, because a smoky slate is light. Just a little bit. Okay, I think we're done with watercoloring. And now it's just assembly. Which butterfly do you like? That one stands out. This one is complete. This one with the bow is today's. I think I like the bow on there better, best. And these, I really want to line up. I'm smart. I don't know if that's going to work. It looks good there. Oh, it's off just a little bit down here. That's okay. Because see how you could kind of see it down there, but that's okay. Okay, and now a little bit of decoration. Okay, a lot bit of decoration. So this is part of the product suite, is these itty bitty, oh, I still haven't figured out how to say that word, mix. And I'm going to be using in here just these little beads. That's a iridescent pearl, which we'll put on. That's right here. And then the blue, and then the iridescent. I'm not going to be using any of the, I think that's like a berry burst color. So I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just however much you like. That looks good. And in here, these little beads, they come in a small and a large. So I'm looking for a small. The large will look good on there too. What's this? There's a small one. Oop, I didn't get it. My picker upper isn't picking up. There it is. So put one here. So it looks like I'm doing 3 of those. There's one. Turn it over, face up. Right here. It's like they don't want to stick when I'm trying to pick them up, but then they want to stick when I'm trying to let them go. There it is. 3. And then I'm going to use iridescent discs and blue sequins. Oop, that's a blue sequins. Looks like there's 2 different size iridescent discs. 2 size blue sequins. Oop, got a dot of glue on that. Maybe a few more down here. Because when you have the whole container, you could go crazy. Okay. See how that little sparkle? I'm going to put a little bit on the inside, but just iridescent. So 3 iridescent. 1, 2, 3. Just because they look almost clear. And then a few pearls, because you know more bling the better. But I'm going to use just the small ones. Just to add to the mix. Okay, so that is it. We did it. We did the watercoloring, did everything. Let me know what you think about the bow. Yes or no? Oop, I got glue on here. I didn't let it dry. Okay. Isn't it nice how you see the bling even when you open it up? Okay. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. Okay, bye.